I'll say. No, Roger. It's an almost. Or wait, yeah, it's a little later than.
Okay.
I'm gonna go talk.
All for you.
Perfect. This meeting is called to order of the Board of Trustees of Mount San Jacinto Community College District. This is our annual organizational meeting, not our regular meeting right now. So we will move to 1.2. Well, you know what? Everyone wasn't here, so we will do the Pledge of Allegiance again. The board's done it just 2 hours ago, but we'll do it again. If you could please stand. Calvin, if Trustee Smith, if you could lead us in pledge. Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Item 1.3, roll call, establishment of quorum.
Trustee Ashley,
Present.
trustee Carpenter,
Present.
trustee Corona,
Present.
trustee Smith,
Present.
trustee Silva,
Here.
student trustee Waluko,
Present.
academic senate Anjanette Oberg, classified senate Ed Saucedo, student government association Alina Baca. Here.
Thank you. We'll move on to item 2, comments of individual groups, delegations limited to sorry. Oh, I'm sorry, 1.4. 1.4, revision, adoption, ordering of the agenda. Do we have a motion to approve the agenda as written?
Chair Ashley, I move to approve as written.
I'll second.
We have a first and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, student trustee, please vote.
Aye.
Trustees, please vote.
Aye.
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 Item 2.1, public comments for limited to agenda items. These are public comments limited to agenda items, and we have none. Hearing that, we can now move on to item 3, open agenda, superintendent president. 3.1, election, Board of Trustee President, Mount San Jacinto Community College District Board Policy 2211, officers. At the annual organizational meeting, the board shall elect from among its members a president, clerk, and secretary of the board. The terms of the officers shall be for 1 year. It's recommended that nominees be open for office of president of MSJC Board of Trustees.
I need clarification. You mean president, chair, board? Or
Chair.
A board chair?
Yes.
Okay, that's right. I nominate Tom Ashley.
This is for.
Chair.
I second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion before we take this vote?
The reason I would hope that you would accept this is because we're in a different time. We're having the search committee in play. Your leadership is exemplary, and I think it needs consistency going forward as we do find and hire our new CEO, president.
I would second that. Where we are at this time, I would hope you would consider it, Tom, just because of the experience that you had here for the institution for a long time. And I don't think now's a great time for change.
I'll make a comment. I don't recall after 13 or 13 and a half years how many times I've been president. I think three or four. We've always skipped. I've never been consecutive president ever, and I don't intend to ever make this a practice. But in the current situation, if I would get the votes to stay the president for the following year, it makes sense to me, and I'll accept that nomination just for the sense of continuity as we continue our search for a new superintendent president. There's a lot going on, and maybe the stability would be the best thing right now. for the college. So I'll accept the nomination. Any other comments? Hearing none, student trustee, please vote.
Aye.
Trustees, please vote.
Aye.
Thank you. It's an honor, everyone, to have that you show your confidence in me. I appreciate it.
Your sentence continues.
Sometimes I feel like everyone else just took a step back and I was standing there. Exactly. I saw that in cartoons growing up. Okay, then we will now move on to 3.2 appointment. Yes. Yep. Appointment secretary to the board, Mount San Jacinto Community College District Board Policy 2210. Officers. At the annual organizational meeting, the board shall elect from its members a president, clerk, secretary of the board. Terms of the officers will be for 1 year. It's the same lingo from the board chairman, but this is for secretary, not clerk. This is for secretary of the board, a position, let's get a nomination first. Do we have a nomination? Or I'm sorry, do we have a nomination?
I nominate Roger Schultz, Dr. Roger Schultz.
I second that.
I believe that 6 months.
With
Okay.
much reservation, you accept, yes.
We have a nomination and a
Chair.
second for Dr. Schultz to continue as board secretary, a role he's done for, I think, 17 and a half years now, maybe more.
Question, so if 6 months goes by, then what's gonna happen after?
Well, we would probably, as part of whoever becomes the next superintendent, we may need to have a quick organizational meeting at that time for the purpose of selecting a new secretary of the board since that position is vacant. Okay, hearing no more discussion, will the student trustee please vote?
Aye.
Trustees, please vote.
Aye.
Congratulations, Dr. Schultz.
Thank you.
The jargon is identical underneath the position. So the next position to be elected is for the clerk of the board, sometimes called the vice president of the board. We call it the clerk. Trustee Carpenter currently serves in that role. At this time, I will accept nominations for clerk of the board.
I nominate Vicky Carpenter.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion on these nominations?
I believe that for the purposes of continuity throughout the search process, that just to allay any concerns from anybody who might be listening otherwise, that this is why I think the board is taking this action. It's not due to some kind of other purpose. It's because we want to be able to maintain this continuity of leadership as we go through this change. And that's solely the purpose for our decisions on that.
Any other discussion? Hearing none. Student trustee, please vote.
Aye.
Trustees, please vote.
Aye.
Abstain.
Or 4 aye, 1 abstention. Trustee Carpenter. Congratulations. All right. 3.4, approved authorized signatures of authority. I will read this, but it's long. The day-to-day operations of the district require authorized signatures for district business. The authorized employees are Roger Schultz, Superintendent President, Michael Beckham, Vice President of Business Services, Stacy Kimbrough, Interim Dean of Business Services Controller, and Brianna Leach, Interim Associate Dean of Business Services. These employees are authorized to sign orders drawn on the funds of the school district and notices of employment. In addition, Diana Galindo, Vice President of Human Resources, is authorized to sign notices of employment. This action is in accordance with Ed Code Sections 85-232 and 85-233. Roger Schultz, Superintendent President, and Michael Beckham, Vice President of Business Services, are authorized to undertake certain functions identified in Title 14 of the California Code of Regulations. It is recommended that the Board of Trustees approve authorized signatures and authority as indicated. Do we have a motion to approve?
I'll move to approve.
We have a motion
I'll second.
and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, student trustee, please vote.
Aye.
Trustees, please vote.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. 3.5, appointment of authorized agents. It is recommended that the Superintendent President, Roger Schultz, and the Vice President of Business Services, Michael Beckham, be appointed as authorized agents for Mount San Jacinto Community College District Board of Trustees. The Superintendent President and the Vice President of Business Services customarily serve as authorized agents for the Board of Trustees. A formal action is needed. Do we have someone to approve appointment of authorized agents?
Chair Ashley, I'll move to approve. Sorry.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion on this or questions?
I actually just wanted to ask if you could describe what an authorized agent is.
They wear black fedoras and they walk around with big trench coats and that.
An agent. That's not the kind of agent. That's like a secret agent. Authorized agents. Roger, do you want to take a?
Sure, it's just the
Right.
execution of contracts, official documents, whether it's certification of DSA, conclusion, like when you see the conclusion of the construction, there's only limited numbers of people that can sign off on that. And it's best to have at least 2 people for redundancy.
Thank you. Student trustee, please vote.
Aye.
Trustees, please vote.
Aye.
3.6, approve regular meeting dates and times. Mount San Jacinto Community College District Board Policy 2310, regular meetings of the board, regular meeting location, date, and time for board meetings shall be determined at the annual organizational meeting. This item sets dates and times for regular monthly meetings to be held in boardroom 301, TA 301 at the Temecula Valley campus on the 3rd floor of 41888 Motor Car Parkway, Temecula, California. 92591 is the zip code. Or is that the area code? Yeah, I was right the first time. Meetings may also be held at other sites within the district at the discretion of the board, which I think we should do. It is recommended that the board approve holding 2 regular meetings during the month of June 11th and June 25th. The second June meeting will replace the July 2026 meeting, as the board will go dark in July. This schedule is being suggested in an attempt to free 1 month in which the trustees and staff can plan time away from the district without returning for a Board of Trustee meeting or need to prepare agendas, et cetera. It's also recommended that the board consider holding the January 2026 meeting on the 3rd Thursday of the month, January 15th, to allow enough time for agenda preparation and board chair review due to the district's holiday closure and time off schedules, December 25th, 2025 through January 1st, 2026. Additionally, 2026 is an election year for MSJC. Pursuant to Election Code Section 35143, annual organizational meetings must take place within 15 days after the second Friday of December in election years. It's recommended, therefore, that the board approve the meeting date of Thursday, December 17th, a little later than normal, for the annual organizational meeting and regular meetings in December to meet this requirement. It is recommended that the Board of Trustees set the dates and times for the regular monthly meeting, leaving the months of July dark. So there it is. Do we have a motion to approve?
Chair, I'll move to approve.
We need a second.
Second.
We have a second. Discussion. Remember this, it wasn't in anything I read, but it was implied that then since it wasn't proposed to be changed, that our start time for these meetings remain at 4 p.m. on a regular meeting. unless we some sort of a urgent need to start them later or earlier. I'm assuming that that remains in effect since no one has brought it up. Okay. That was my comment on it.
So if I saw it correctly, it was January 15th is now the
Yes.
BOT meeting? That may be a conflict. Not the training, but the,
EO, I think,
no, I have that on my calendar, but I don't have so it's the board meeting that would be the,
continue on, just like we did.
right, but that's where I have the conflict. Not the EO, but that one meeting. Because I had it down as the second Thursday.
That would be, just to be clear, that is the meeting in like a month.
I just wanted to double check that they had moved that one meeting to the third week.
Do you have any proposed solution to that, or do you just feel that you can't make it?
We should be able to attend online.
No.
I think what Trustee Carpenter is saying is she's busy. That's why she can't make the meeting.
I
She
could
can't be
actually,
on.
because I could do the EEO, that was already on my calendar, but I have to be in Riverside by 6, so I will stay here as long as I can. How about that?
Okay.
Okay.
All right. All right, that sounds fine. We'll do it that way.
Can we maybe possibly think of a way that maybe she could potentially attend at 4 o'clock over there virtually?
Well, if we,
I'm going to already be here.
Okay,
Yeah, I'll already be here, so I'll just flow right into the into the board meeting and then exit when I need to go to.
the only other option would be to try to start our EEO meeting, but we have people coming for that training for a half an hour early, and that might not be, we can't confirm that would work for their agenda. They might be running tight. But I would encourage everyone, and maybe we can just let folks know, like, let's be a little early for that meeting so we can get started and move through it and get as much done as our regular board meeting, because sometimes our meetings conclude around 5:45, 5:30.
So along that vein, if I could suggest, we were informed that, like, what does Beckham have to do with it? So if, playing off that vein, I believe we were notified that that training will be an hour and a half, not the 2 hours of today. And if that starts at 1:30, that would conclude it at 3, which would allow for a 3 o'clock start to get you even more runway for the board meeting. And therefore, hopefully, as Trustee Ashley said, we might have it mostly through by the time you had to leave.
That's great.
That
So,
would be perfect.
so then we'll set this, okay, so then what we're going to do, we will, so right now there's a motion to approve this, but there was no mention of times. So we will add the time of our January meeting to begin, of our January regular meeting to begin at 3 instead of 4. And with that amendment and that adjustment to our regular time. And I am aware that that means some people are, it does create a conflict for some people to be here to attend the meeting.
yeah, I want to hear from like the student trustee and our other
Um,
academic senate, and what does it?
Although accommodating the trustees is the elected, duty of them. That's like, it's important to make sure everyone can be here. I would advise people to get here as quick as you can.
Yeah.
All right, so with that amendment of starting next month's meeting at 3, because do we have any further discussion? Hearing none, student trustee, please vote.
Aye.
Trustees, please vote.
Aye.
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 Okay. Not too painful.
Thank you. Thank you for that accommodation.
That worked out. Thanks, President Schultz. That was good. Am I on 3.7? I believe so, yes. Item 3.7, selection of representatives for annual county committee on school district organization election. The governing board of each school district of every kind or class shall annually at its initial meeting select one of its members as its representative who shall have one vote for each member to be elected to the county committee. The secretary or clerk of the district shall furnish the county superintendent of schools with a certificate naming the representative selected by the board. It is recommended that the Board of Trustees select a member as its representative to vote in the annual county committee on school district organization. So with that, is there anyone, nominations are open for that position?
Is the one at where you get the two different county of educations, San Bernardino and Riverside County Board?
Yeah, this is the one I believe takes place on
San Bernardino.
Hospitality Lane at a
Yeah.
hotel.
That's the one I attended and I recommend it. If you haven't had a chance to go, it's.
Well, you know, and I'd be happy to nominate you,
I was
trustee
gonna say,
Corona.
I recommend trustee Hollister.
However, normally, you know, it's the new trustees that like get suggested to go because we've all gone several times. And maybe it's time for someone else to go. And it's up to trustee Corona whether he would like to decline the nomination, but I'll
One of the other
nominate.
trustees would like to go, I'll go, but if,
Is
anybody else interested?
Alvin, sorry, trustee Smith, did you make a motion to nominate?
Yes,
Yeah.
I nominated.
Second, so I'll second that.
okay, we have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? With none, hearing none, student trustee Claudia, please vote.
Aye.
Trustees, please vote. Aye.
Aye.
Thank you for your service, trustee Corona. We appreciate that.
No problem, thank you.
Although I have attended that meeting a few times and it is occasionally really interesting, actually.
Occasionally.
Occasionally it's not interesting. With that, we are now at the adjournment of our organizational meeting. So I will accept a motion for adjournment.
I move.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, student trustee, please vote for adjournment.
Aye.
Trustees, please vote. Aye.
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 All right, we are adjourned for our organizational meeting and we will have a 1 minute break or two at the most before our regular meeting starts. Because I need to escape out of this meeting. Go to the home button and so do all of you.
I've already.
Oh, you're already there because you're not running the meeting.
Correct.
Okay, maybe we don't need more than a minute. Right? Let me ask. Let me grab a cup of coffee.
It's up there.
Get Mike. You need.
She got my letter today. Oh, yeah. Great. For real. Writing stuff.
Go. I guess I was the only one that needed to admit it. Everyone else is looking at me like, could you hurry up? Okay.
They just have the priors.
Right.
Yeah, right.
What do you think that's like? All right, well, I'll just start this. Before I got-
Yeah.
Wow. This meeting of the Board of Trustees of Mount San Jacinto Community College District is now in order. The time right now is 4:31. We're starting a little later because of our organizational meeting. And we are now on 1.2 in our agenda, roll call establishment of quorum. Ms. Morrison, could you please establish quorum?
Trustee Ashley,
Present?
trustee Carpenter,
Here.
trustee Corona,
Here.
trustee Smith,
Here.
trustee Silva,
Present.
student trustee Waluka,
Present.
academic senate Ajane Oberg, Classified Senate Ed Saucedo. Student Government Association Alina Baca.
Here.
Thank you. Item 1.3, approval of minutes, regular meeting of November 13th, 2025. We recommend approval of the meeting. Do we have a motion to approve?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion on this? With that, hearing none, student trustee, please vote.
Aye.
Trustees, please vote.
Aye.
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 Item 1.4, revision, adoption, ordering of the agenda. It is recommended that the Board of Trustees approve the order of the agenda with one revision. Item 10.1 is revised to reflect a correct contract date. So when you guys received your earlier minute, 10.1 had an off date and it's been revised. Other than that, do we have a motion to approve the order of the agenda?
Chair, actually, I move to approve the order of the agenda as an L.
We have a motion.
Second.
We have a second. Any discussion on this? Hearing none, student trustee, please vote.
Aye.
Trustees, please vote.
Aye.
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 Um, Item 2, comments of individuals, groups, delegations limited to closed session items. Public comment guidelines that are limited to closed agenda items, and we have no request to speak. So with that, we will move on to closed session, and let me give you a summary of what will be covered. Item 3.1, closed session. Notice, item 3.2, public employee dismissal, discipline, release. Release pursuant, public employee discipline dismissal release pursuant to government codes 54-957B1 case. 3.3, conference with labor negotiator, California Schools Employee CSCA. 3.4, conference with labor negotiator, California Teachers Association. 3.5, conference with labor negotiator, Communication Workers of America. And then we will reconvene and report out. So with that, we will adjourn to closed session. Hope to see you very soon. Good afternoon. We're calling the meeting back to order from closed session. We are on item 3.6, reconvene to open session and report out. And we have only one item to report out. And today in closed session, the Board of Trustees took action to accept the discipline recommendation for employee 10-10-10 and directed staff to proceed with issuing the final notice of discipline. The vote was 4 yes and 1 abstention, who was Trustee Corona. Moving on to item 4, comments of individual groups, delegations limited to agenda items. And we have no request to speak, so we don't need to read all of that. We'll move right on to item 5, reports. Board President and trustees. So we will begin with Trustee Smith, as is tradition, and work our way down.
Thank you, Ashley. It's the holiday season, so obviously there's lots of things to talk about, but I'll keep it brief. There was 2. I was honored to receive the Book of Golden Deeds Award from our valley and thank the cabinet and staff there for coming to see one more award ceremony. Thank you. And the other event was a big deal. San Jacinto High School actually won and got to go to the CIF game. And if you've ever been to one of those games, it can draw a large crowd. And when there are the facilities that can't handle them, it's not very good. I have been to some. I got to give kudos to staff for getting it done so quickly for the high schools to be able to use the MSJC stadium. That's so important I think it should be available for any high school in our region here to be able to use a facility that the community paid for. I says, because it was nice. You had the parking, you have the lighting. It was world class until I walked on the field and the scoreboard doesn't work. I've heard multiple stories about why it doesn't work, and I could go on all night, but bottom line, we must fix that. Or if we need help to remove that board, let me know and I will get it down. But we have to have one that consistently works. Thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Smith. Trustee Corona.
So this last month, part of November, December, I had the privilege of partaking in several events to represent the college. And the State of the College was one on November 14th. I want to thank the faculty. I heard great reviews. Thank the faculty, the classified, the executive board, the trustees. Everybody was there. We looked great, wonderful. And it was just such a momentous occasion. But I want to say, man, this college, I mean, whoever you ask, it doesn't matter what city you're in, whether you're Hemet or Elsinore, Temecula, Merida, Paris, everybody says wonderful things about this. Even if you go to AI, right, and you ask, hey, what's going on? What's it like living here in this area? What are the positive things? They're always going to mention Mount San Jacinto Community College. We're so grateful to have this college. And on November 20th to the 22nd in Anaheim, we had a conference. We had an event where several colleges all over the state. We had executive board members, and here from this college, we had trustees, presidents from all over again the state came together, went to different trainings, and it was wonderful. And we here at this college, we definitely represented. I've been here for 3 years, going on 4, and I've never seen our whole executive board, almost our whole executive board, and almost our whole board of trustees all present. And of course with Roger and other representatives, and we look good. Also, on a personal note, after the conference, in the afternoon, after everything was finished, in the afternoon, I had a competition. Again, it's a personal note for jiu-jitsu. My first match, I won.
Wow.
That was the first one. After that, let's just say that was a humbling experience. You ever want to get humbled? Join jiu-jitsu. All right. And then on December 4th, we had and excuse my French, okay, winter sorry, right?
All right.
Sorry, okay. And then I had some, again, excuse my French, divorce. how do you say it? Divorce? Well, yeah, it sounds like divorce, huh? Or dwarves. Or dwarves. Como talebú. All right. Eh, yeah, appetizers. And it was really good. Our foundation director, Rebecca Arlowski, thank you. And everybody who attended, it was nice. Also heard good reviews from our constituents and all that attended. And then also want to say, and again, another personal note, I've taken 2 classes this last year. I just finished mine, final. And what a great experience, not only as a trustee, but as a student for the college. And so just speaking to other students in my courses, speaking to the professor, understanding what they go through, understanding what single parents, what full-time working parents go through, taking full load of courses, it was very enlightening for me. Okay, so I really appreciate being part of it as a student. And I want to say that this Saturday I'll be attending a Paris Christmas parade in the city of Paris. I'll be partaking in a parade. And I just want to close by saying happy holidays to all. Spend time with your families. Cherish every moment. And that will conclude my board meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Corona. Trustee Silva.
Yes, good afternoon or good evening. On November 14th, I had the pleasure of attending the State of the College event, and I wanted to extend my sincere appreciation to every department that showcased its work. Your tables and displays offered the community a meaningful glimpse into the dedication and impact behind the services you provide. And I am especially grateful to the staff who traveled to Temecula, those who handled the setup, the breakdown, and all the behind the scenes efforts that make events like this possible. Your hard work ensured that our community could see firsthand the outstanding work you do every day. Thank you for representing our college with such professionalism and pride. I'm incredibly proud of our student athletes, coaches, and support staff, not only for completing the 2025 fall sports season, but for performing at such a high level that multiple teams earned postseason berths. However, I am deeply disappointed in the women's soccer selection committee and the resulting regional playoff seedings. While I understand that the committee followed the established women's soccer coaches supplement, it is difficult to understand how all 4 qualifying Inland Empire Athletic Conference teams were placed not only on the same side of the bracket, and even more concerning, matched against one another in the opening round. Having served on the 3C2A competition committee, I know that viable solutions exist to prevent outcomes like this. Our student athletes and coaches deserve a selection process that honors their efforts rather than forcing them to face a conference opponent for a 3rd time. Therefore, I call on the California Community College Soccer Coaches Association to draft Form 5 legislation and to present it to the 3C2A Management Council for consideration and a floor vote at the 2026 convention, spring convention in Burbank. The post-conference selection process must be improved. I joined my board colleagues and the executive cabinet at the 2CLC convention in Anaheim last month. It was the first time in many years that my schedule allowed me to attend the fall convention, and it proved to be an exceptional experience. The event was strongly attended by presidents, vice presidents, and deans, as my board colleague, Trustee Corona, had mentioned, from across the state, including many colleagues I hadn't seen since before the pandemic. It felt a lot like a meaningful reunion with longtime friends. Earlier this month was a solemn remembrance of the 10th anniversary of the terrorist attack in the Inland Regional Center in San Bernardino on December 2nd. I'm honored to share that I've been selected as a speaker for the 2026 TEDx MSJC Talks event. This year's theme, Amplify, aligns perfectly with my topic, how California Community College sports can amplify the academic experience. Drawing on nearly 2 decades in California in community college athletics, my talk will illustrate how treating athletics as a co-curricular program rather than an extracurricular one elevates student voices and enriches the broader educational experience. I will highlight how the most successful California community colleges, college athletic programs, the same colleges whose FTE numbers, executives, and boards across the state covet, thrive when supported by leadership that embraces a co-curricular model, creating a campus culture where athletics is recognized as an essential component of student learning and success. I will also discuss how opening campus facilities to host major high school events such as CIF playoff games, as Trustee Smith had mentioned, strengthens community connections and enhances student recruitment. Hosting your own athletic events is important, but it's the external events, concerts, community gatherings, Chamber of Commerce functions that generate revenue and showcase the college to a wider audience. I wanted to congratulate my board colleague, Calvin Smith, for being presented with the Book of Golden Deeds on December 2nd by the Exchange Club of Hemet San Jacinto. This award recognizes individuals whose volunteer work has made a significant and lasting impact, and Calvin is truly deserving of this honor. While I was disappointed to have a work conflict that prevented me from attending the ceremony, I remain incredibly proud of Calvin and grateful to his wonderfully supportive wife, who stands beside him through the many volunteer and community commitments his role requires. Thank you, sir. Yesterday, I attended an alumni event for the Young Americans for Freedom at the Balboa Bay Resort in Newport Beach, where our group heard a speech by film producer and author Mark Joseph. Both our women's and men's basketball teams begin Inland Empire Athletic Conference play at home this Saturday against Chaffey Panthers. Games are at 1 and 3. In the spirit of the holiday season, I want to wish everyone a happy Hanukkah, a Merry Christmas, and a Happy New Year. May these times be filled with blessings for you and your family. And with that, I would like to wish everyone a happy and safe International Mountain Day. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Trustee Silva. That was a very full report. Trustee Carpenter.
2 pages, single spaced. Thank you. I attended a lot of what so the State of the College CCLC conference, the President's Award soiree, which was really nice, and the weather to cooperate. I want to congratulate Trustee Smith on your award as well. I know that was such a prestigious award, especially in your particular area in our region. I also want to thank MSJC. You kind of alluded to, the Chamber of Commerce's and how they support all of the other entities and organizations out there. But they supported it for the Menifee Valley Chamber of Commerce and attended it. Thank you, Roger, and those that did attend that night. And as I embark and was presented the gavel as president next year, 2026, of the Menifee Valley Chamber. I'd like to wish everyone happy holidays. Take some time, spend it with family and friends. I think I would like to have an act of Congress that said that we don't have to go to corporate company or entity or nonprofit parties during the month of December. Yes, I hear it. And that we can, the only time we gather is with family and with friends. Sadly, that's not the case, but anyone who wants to sign the petition, come see me. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Trustee Carpenter. My report will be short. First of all, I did attend the CCLC annual convention in Garden Grove, not Anaheim. Close. It rained. It rained, which was not something I'm accustomed to in Southern California. And it was great seeing all available vice presidents were in attendance. Bumped into Superintendent Schultz, but he was there for part of it. Dean Sterling, great seeing you. We had a great, and several board members were there in attendance. It was a good conference. 2 sessions that stood out to me. We've been hearing about just the details of a lawsuit going on at the state level from adjunct faculty, and it's complicated. And it relates to minimum pay for hours worked. And anyhow, we had a very long briefing from a lawyer there that just explained it to trustees so we understood it. And it was really interesting, even though it was just lawyer speak for an hour. Mr. Beckham was in there, but he already understood what was going on. He's the one that teaches us about it, but now several of us know about it. Also, I really enjoyed a session on the evolution of the Brown Act and the open meetings laws in the state of California. The attorney that conducted the meeting was a sit-in for the regular attorney and had kind of a little bit of a twist on some of the ideas of the Brown Act that were super interesting to consider. And it was something that we need to like chew on and always remember, like, the law of Brown Act laws, that is, what we're allowed to talk about. And because generally whenever trustees speak, we should try to always speak when it comes to college business in the open, not to each other outside of meetings. And we don't. We're very good at that. But the open meetings and ideas for having input and questions from people that are interested, it was a very thought-provoking session. So I took a lot from that. Also, I ran in between rains, which was very interesting.
Yes.
It was kind of fun. Other than that, yes, I also attended the winter soiree. I brought my sweetheart, and we had a great time, except for, again, it was cold. I was jealous, like a whole bunch of people. Yeah, but it wasn't raining, but I was like, oh, I want that jacket. And it's like, everyone's like, I wish I would have brought something warmer. But thank you, Foundation and Rebecca. Thank you for putting that on. It was my favorite appetizer were the little miniature waffles with chicken and syrup. I'm like, never had a miniature chicken and waffles before. It was quite good. Other than that, though, I hope everyone enjoys their time with family during our holidays and during our break. And with that, I'm going to hand it over to our student trustee, Claudia. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Chair. I attended quite a few things over the past month, including the State of the College and the scholarship ceremony as thrown by the Foundation, where I was invited to do the Pledge of Allegiance. And so I have quite a bit of experience with Pledge of Allegiance. So if anyone is looking for someone to say it for any other future events, I'm your gal. I'd be more than happy to. Besides that, I also wanted to congratulate Trustee Smith once again. We spoke a little bit about your award at the soiree, but I know it was well-deserved because in the short time that I've known you, you've shown nothing but exemplary leadership, and I look up to you very much. So congratulations again. This past weekend, I had the opportunity to attend the Advocacy Academy Conference hosted by the Student Senate for California Community Colleges in Riverside. This year's event was incredibly engaging and informative. We had the opportunity to network with student leaders from across the state, participate in several caucuses, and gather innovative ideas to bring back to our campus. I myself was able to join the Student Trustee Caucus, where we gathered ideas on what types of resolutions we would like to collectively work on and present for the legislative season next year. I also wanted to extend a heartfelt gratitude to the Executive Cabinet and Dr. Schultz for making it possible for our delegation to get lodging for this conference. Without it, we probably would not have been able to be so immersed in the activities of the conference. And I hope that future groups will also be granted the opportunity to participate as we did. During the conference, I attended a workshop on being an ally to our Native community as a non-Indigenous person. One practice I learned is that several of the colleges in our area and outside of it include the land acknowledgement pledge in their Board of Trustees meeting. So I know that MSJC does the land acknowledgement at special events, but SGA actually does it at all of our meetings. So I'm hoping that moving forward that I could possibly advocate for the land acknowledgement pledge to be included at this meeting as well as a regular practice. Land acknowledgements are important because they recognize the original stewards of the land we occupy, honor the ongoing presence and contributions of Indigenous peoples, and demonstrate our college's commitment to truth-telling and reconciliation. Given our responsibility as a Hispanic-serving institution to support all underrepresented communities, I believe this practice would meaningfully reflect our values of equity and inclusion. I also want to bring forward some concerns that I've heard from students this past month regarding racial inequities that they're experiencing in the classroom. In researching this issue, I was surprised to learn that there is no mandated equity training regarding racial discrimination for our incoming faculty. This is something that I'm hoping to kind of take on and advocate for, as well, as I believe, just based on the stories that I've heard in this past month, it is an ongoing concern and something that students should not be subjected to as they're pursuing higher education. On that very bright note, I want to conclude my report by saying thank you so much for the examples that you've provided for me in these past few months that I've served as a student trustee. I really, really appreciate everyone's leadership. This is something I'm learning a lot from. And so thank you. I feel like this has been a very, it's just been a very important part of my life and academic journey, being on this board and being able to learn from all of you. So I appreciate that. And I wish you all a very happy, safe, and restful holiday season. And I will see you next year.
Thank you. We're now going to move on to the Student Government Association report by Ms. Baca. You can go ahead.
Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. So I just want to piggyback off of Trustee Waluko. I also attended the Advocacy Academy hosted by SSCCC in Riverside. Like she said before, it was super engaging this year. I was able to network with many of the schools in our region. This year, they advocated a lot on the importance of voting, and they had a whole presentation letting us know that our vote matters. And had a little kind of collaborative, engaging whole presentation about it. They also had an HSI panel and showing us the importance of what it means to be a Hispanic serving institution. I thought that was very educational, and I hope to bring some of that back into the student government. Some of the workshops that I attended were, some of the workshops I attended was on AB 705 and AB 1705 on the remedial math and English classes, and how the statistics show that a lot of students are doing much better without those courses not being provided. Along with, I also attended a resolution workshop and kind of showed us an overview on what a resolution is and how beneficial it is to at least just write a resolution. So I talked with members of the SGA, and we will be moving forward with at least 2 resolutions this upcoming semester. Lastly, I also joined the Latinx caucus, and the meeting was very, very informative. And like I said, there was just so many things that I cannot wait to bring into the SGA student government. I attended Umoja's Kwanzaa celebration. I think it was very eye-opening to see a lot of the misrepresentation, or like what Kwanzaa really is. So it was very, very educational, and I'm very happy. I now know a lot more about what goes into Kwanzaa and people who celebrate it. Our Winter Wonderland dance is tomorrow for SGA. We're super excited about that. We've been holding it for the past 3 years, so we get a pretty good turnout each year. We finalized our SGA winter retreat and plan on collaborating with the Faculty Senate for their student panel. So SGA is super excited to hop on board with that. Lastly, our basketball homecoming tailgate is January 10th. 1 p.m. is the women's game and 3 p.m. is the men's game. So hopefully you guys will be able to come out and support our teams. Thank you. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Ms. Baca. Delivering the Academic Senate report will be Dr. Oberg.
Aloha, everyone. I want to first acknowledge that I too am going to bring up some concerns, but that doesn't in any way take away from the great work and the wonderful events that you all have showcased in your reports. We have had a busy semester and we're closing out the year with a couple of memos and a resolution that I'm required as Senate President to read and provide to the board today. I do want to express my gratitude to all of you. I loved seeing your video versions in the state of the college. It was really inspiring to hear your passion and commitment to the college and your various focus areas. So thank you. Thank you to administration, our classified colleagues, for all the hard work that you've put into not just that event, but all we do here at MSJC. And thank you to our students for your representation, advocacy, and partnership, especially in the upcoming Flex Days. And then thank you to our faculty body who really do genuinely love students, but clearly we need to be committed to ongoing continuous improvement and ongoing professional learning. So we welcome your partnership in that, Claudia. We want to make sure all our classrooms are safe and sacred spaces for student learning. So, and I want to give a special shout out to our Senate members, our Senate Standing Committee members for all the work that they've done. And some of that is reflected in what we'll be sharing with you today. That being said, I also want to note the work session today. Thank you. Thank you for that. I imagine it might be part of your regularly scheduled training, but I do think it's timely. In my Senate role in the last 6 months, I have met one-on-one with over 24 faculty members, and I've heard them raise some serious concerns, some that are very much related to the abusive conduct and the bullying that was discussed today, while not a direct violation of any harassment or retaliation laws that you learned about today. They very much have impacted our culture, and they do impact the productivity, the morale. We see it. We have people actively on stress leaves right now as we speak, and it manifests itself in other ways. And so it is deeply impacting faculty. These are things that were shared in the accreditation listening sessions. These were things that have been shared directly with Roger by prior Senate leaders, by prior union leaders, and by Michael and myself. And so we do hope the board pays attention. There are some things happening in staffing changes that are some red flags. So we ask that you be diligent in paying attention to those flags and maybe engaging in either informal or formal inquiry. Senate always welcomes the opportunity to have open meetings and discussions with you. We would welcome the opportunity to host town halls with you. We would also welcome the opportunity to continue what Union did last semester and actually meet one-on-one with some board members. So if you all are open to that, we see it as a really critical time. We want to set our president up for success as we welcome a new president in next year. And so it would be helpful for you all to kind of understand some of the underlying sentiments and what's contributing to those things as you're making that very important decision for our college moving forward. That said, on your agenda today, I do want to draw your attention to some of the staffing changes. We do have a dean transitioning back into faculty. That is impacting some of our discussions about the hiring positions. And then additionally, we have some other changes that will likely be coming on a future agenda. Another dean that's transitioning out back into faculty is Carrie Consalvi. She is very much a well-respected colleague, beloved, And it is a great loss for us. And it definitely informs one of the memos that you'll be receiving tonight. I also want to draw attention to the loss of Nicholas Leith Lacey, the interim director of Black Student Success Initiatives. That also is a huge loss. And we need to have some proactive conversations about not only acquiring colleagues of color, but making sure that we're building systems in place to retain them, right? To build a system and a culture at the institution that practices our promises and our commitments that we put forth publicly. Our OER liaison is also stepping down. And I just want to draw your attention to the attrition rates, the faculty attrition rates over the last couple of years. Diana mentioned in her EEO presentation last board meeting that it's harder to turn over the demographics of the faculty population because faculty usually get tenured positions and they stay throughout the duration of their careers. We're not seeing that here. We have them leaving in the tenure process, and we've even lost actual tenured faculty. And so the loss of our colleague in Black Student Success is just another thing that helps us recognize we have work to be done. That being said, I do want to kind of give you a couple heads up, and then I'll turn our attention to the resolution and memos that are before you. We do have some wonderful things ahead. We have our Flex Day that's happening on January 8th and 9th. We are going to have some dialogue with students about AI and just how we can better support them. In the coming year, Megan Maskell will be leading some conversations with faculty about AI that maybe can inform policy requests. Additionally, that can help us balance how do we protect academic integrity. How do we properly support student success by giving them the knowledge and skills, authentic knowledge and skills necessary as they transfer and step into these careers, but also how can we leverage it to be innovative in our own practice as well as affording students that guidance as well. We are going to be continuing to discuss proactive scheduling processes that are needed. I also want to alert your attention to the information item on your board agenda. We have called a MAC for the development of those participatory governance policies. That's item 13.2. We are most concerned as Senate about the transition away from a constituent quorum and moving to a simple majority. That puts us at risk of potentially moving forward with participatory governance decisions with potentially no faculty present at all. It could impact our classified colleagues as well. And we want to just have conversations and ensure that Senate is involved in the development of policies related to shared governance and academic and professional matters consistent with BP, your board policy 2510. And then that being said, we also have some work to do. We have reactivated the high school partnership and the Strong Workforce Committee, and we are looking to have those dialogues and conversations about the budgeting of the Strong Workforce and Perkins funds, and specifically how those funds might be utilized to fund positions that should come out of our general fund, rather than those funds when those funds could be readily available to support our career education programs. So that said, let me direct you to some of the items before you. You do have an administrative memo looking at addressing AI and upholding academic and enrollment integrity. This was passed by Senate on November 19th. And this is addressed to both our board president, our superintendent, college president, as well as you. As board members, I just want to give you a little bit of background. I won't read all of this to you. I do want to read the closing asks to you, but just a little bit of background. We still don't have clear guidelines on how to identify bots. So we haven't even fully wrapped our hands around enrollment integrity. So there are still fraudulent enrollments in our classes and on our wait lists. And while we have a policy to report those, we're not well equipped with how to identify them. We're also part of the POCR program, and so we have a responsibility to do that when other colleges have students in our classes as well. We don't have sufficient tools or technology right now to mitigate the widespread use of AI, unethical or otherwise, and that undermines academic integrity. We have had a huge increase in success rates, but we honestly don't know how much of that is authentic success rates or increases, or how much of that might be related to the changing landscape associated with AI use. We do not have adequate proctoring facilities, tools, or processes. And we also have Senate left out of appropriate conversations, or when we are taking actions or engaging in conversations or committee processes, our requests are often being denied. So we have no way to mitigate those concerns. And then additionally, I'm going to move us on to our requests. We're asking for clear structures and processes for collegial consultation with the board, administration, and Senate on this matter and all academic and professional matters. We're asking that administration issue guidelines for identifying suspected fraudulent enrollments by spring. We're asking for in-person proctoring options with appropriate access to resources so that we can support those colleagues who need to do in-person testing. And we're asking the college to research and implement the best available technology and online tools to detect AI accurately so that we can support a healthy, constructive relationship with students and partner with them in their skill development. And then we'd like you to direct administration to include faculty directly in the schedule development. Your board policy with regard to scheduling talks a lot about access, but we need to look at different modalities that balance access with also academic integrity, particularly for certain programs that are being compromised. And then we would like you to commit funds to ongoing professional development in this key area that will likely be a part of academia for many years to come. I then need to direct your attention to a resolution. I am required by our Senate policy to read this to you. This also was adopted on November 19th. And this is specifically related to a major transition in Senate and concerns counseling colleagues have brought to us as well. Sterling Davenport is our appointment secretary. He is resigning from his position, and it's directly related to some of the inequities that are outlined in this resolution. Counseling colleagues have brought concerns to you in the past, and our LRC and library colleagues also have some current concerns that are being discussed. Whereas non-credit faculty who are instructional faculty who teach non-credit courses designed to prepare students for academic, workforce, and community success, and non-instructional faculty who include counselors, learning resource center coordinators, learning skills faculty, librarians, and other instructional support positions equally contribute to the success of our students and support our institutional mission to provide equity-minded education to combat systemic barriers, promote social mobility, and provide opportunities for educational achievement. And whereas statewide organizations such as the ASCCC, the California Community College Chancellor's Office, as outlined in Vision 2030, affirm that the inclusion of non-credit and non-instructional faculty expertise in program development, curriculum design, and student pathway planning is essential to advancing equity, instructional integrity, and student success across the California Community College system. And whereas there's a demonstrated need for active non-credit and non-instructional faculty engagement in participatory governance structures, as well as a need for scheduling flexibility to allow all faculty to actively participate in professional development and mentoring opportunities in accordance with the California Community College Flexible Calendar Guidelines, all of which are essential to fostering a culture of inclusion, collaboration, and continuous improvement. And whereas faculty in non-credit and non-instructional roles face unique disparities in their required work hours, which already limits their ability to adequately serve students at large, complete required documentation, and participate in campus initiatives. And therefore, inequitable scheduling and compensation barriers further restrict their ability to support our institutional commitment to serve a diverse student population from various identities, cultures, socioeconomic backgrounds, life experiences, abilities, and educational needs that represent our community. Resolved that the MSJC Academic Senate affirms the value of these faculty, recognizes the unique perspectives and value of all faculty, and remains committed to their role in supporting the institution in upholding the MSJC value statement, which explicitly indicates that we value empowerment through education, uphold integrity in our work, and champion equity in education through our commitment to open communication, seizing opportunities, fostering growth, embracing diversity, welcoming all, and caring for one another. Be it further resolved that we urge the administration to work collaboratively with faculty unions in order to review and revise current scheduling structures and eliminate inequitable workloads and scheduling barriers for our non-credit and non-instructional faculty, and instead implement sustainable scheduling practices that ensure equitable participation in college processes such as governance, program review, curriculum, institutional planning, and other college-wide initiatives, and flexibility to engage in professional development, all of which honors our commitments. And finally, resolved that we urge administration to work with the unions to ensure our non-credit and non-instructional faculty receive comparable release time and/or compensation as their credit instructional faculty colleagues for participatory governance and union roles and professional development activities. This ensures equitable access to opportunities to serve college at our college in roles and activities that support our initiatives and student success. And our last item for you is our professional development memo. As noted, we have our interim associate dean position for PD expired. We then did a recruitment for a new interim dean position that has been expanded to include PD, DE. It's also been expanded to include SWP and the Perkins funding, even though this person isn't responsible for overseeing any program related to strong workforce. Our professional development coordinator is the position is expiring as of the end of spring because it is also grant funded. And then we also have new RSI policies. All of these major changes in PD, along with the importance of our professional development coordinator and role in holding us to accreditation standards and helping us address compliance and risk mitigation, all of these things indicate that we need professional development to be a priority. And as such, we are asking you for, if I could direct you to the final page, well, the second to the last page, our requests. We're asking you to hire a permanent faculty professional development coordinator out of our general fund rather than being grant funded that's subject to termination. This is a sustainable practice if it's funded directly out of our general fund. We also ask that you establish appropriate structures and processes by which administration collegially consults with academic senate on professional development matters that fall under 10+1. And we ask that you revise current APs and BPs as needed to ensure faculty involvement in the hiring of all interim and permanent positions related to PD. And just a final reminder, professional development is critical to the success of all faculty. Claudia, you
Dr.
mentioned.
Oberg, you've been going for 20 minutes. Are you almost done?
Apologies. Yes.
This is the longest
This is it.
academic senate report in my 13 years I've ever heard.
This is it, actually. It's our last page.
Okay, thank you.
My apologies, Tom. There were 2 memos and 1 resolution. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
5.5, classified senate, Ed Saucedo.
Thank you, President Ashley. I have a short report. We're still a work in progress, filling our executive cabinet with remaining positions, getting more senators. We're working on our constitution, policies and procedures, working on a method to support our committees that we assign a classified staff to, and how we can support the college in general. So we're only 90 days into my current term. So we still have a lot of work to do. So hopefully as time goes by, we'll be able to provide more information and share with you what we're doing to support the college. And I do want to thank you for recognizing the work that goes in behind the scenes and setting up the events. And for example, even the meeting today. So thank you very much for that. And I will pass that word on to the rest of the staff. Thank you.
Thank you. Item 5.6, Superintendent, President, and Executive Cabinet.
I'll go to our team. Yes.
Sure. Just want to let y'all know that we're in full swing for enrollment for spring of 26, which is ridiculous, spring of 26. But it opened up, we're 11 days in. So we're right on track with last spring as well. So we're seeing really strong enrollments again, working with a lot of trying to adjust some of the procedures for enrollment services, financial aid and counseling to get students in. So we've made some tweaks to the process. Taking a lot of information into the come fall 26 when we have the mad rush again, that we have some improved customer service. So that's really the emphasis right now is how do we serve the students better when we don't want them waiting in long lines. We want them to get access to what they need. So we're working on a lot of efforts for that. So you'll see some other things come through later as we continue to develop that. But thanks for approving those 3 dean positions. Last board meeting, those people are, well, they're all in place, but there's been some shifts. But anyway, we're hitting the ground running. So it's looking good so far.
And then I have a couple of success stories to share, actually. So we're nearing the end of finals week. So any student, any faculty that have persevered throughout this is a success story. But more specifically, our new commercial driver's license class concluded. And all of the 9 students at the end of the course have successfully passed, have successfully earned their certification. One of those students actually passed the certification before the end of the class. So they did as much as they needed to in order to get that. So great success for this just first stage of that class. Also wanted to share with enrollment happening, we do have 2 new programs starting in the spring. Our gerontology program is launching, as well as our oh gosh, I'm just drawing a blank on the second one. We have two programs that are launching right now. Both are welding, of course, at the Alessandro High School in Hemet. So both are doing well. We're seeing enrollment in both. We're excited to get moving with those. Also just wanted to share that I had the honor of attending the nursing penning ceremony last night with President Schultz. And just such a wonderful experience always to celebrate our new graduates at this mid-year time. I enjoy seeing the passion that our faculty have for their students, the pride that they have for them, and just such a meaningful event. I know a number of you have attended that at different points in the past. So great positive experience there. And that concludes my report.
Good evening, everyone, trustees, colleagues, and MSJC community. I just have a couple of brief updates of things that I'm actually able to report on due to the confidential nature of HR. Not everything obviously can be shared. But first, I want to say that MSJC, in partnership with the city of Temecula, is launching the Community Emergency Response Team Training for employees. This program strengthens organizational readiness and supports our commitment to safety and equip staff to respond effectively during emergencies until professional help arrives. The initiative enhances resilience, aligns with campus safety and risk management priorities, and fosters collaboration with local emergency services. It will be a total of 24 hours spread over a 6-week period at no cost to MSJC. It will focus on readiness, rescuer safety, and ongoing and doing the greatest good for the greatest number of constituents. The next EEO training will take place on January 15, 2026 during a public board of trustees meeting. Announcements have been going out to all employees who are in need of recertification. This will allow for that training to commence and be completed before committees start convening for the mass faculty hiring season we are expecting in the spring. In terms of negotiations, without going into specific, the district continues to make great progress with 2 out of the 3 bargaining units and negotiating articles. On behalf of the district negotiating teams, I want to thank CSEA and CTA negotiation teams for their continuous work to ensure their members' needs as well as the district needs are considered through the sessions. Both teams have consistently met with the district and engaged in respectful and productive dialogue. The district hopes these effective meetings will conclude in tentative agreements early in 2026 so that all negotiated language can be implemented, specifically those impacting salary and benefits. I want to also acknowledge the confidential and supervisory representatives who have been receptive and patient as they technically don't negotiate. However, we still meet with the representatives to engage in dialogue about wages and other items related to employment, and through conversations, they have been able to move forward with presenting information to their employee group. Unfortunately, we have been unable to meet with the negotiating team for associate faculty. Although not required of the district, on November 11th, we reached out to CWA to notify them of salary negotiations occurring with other bargaining units. However, despite CWA informing the district that upcoming elections would be completed by January 16th to determine new leadership, the district will not be able to meet with CWA, which will impact the timing of when we can bring any tentative agreements to the board for approval. For recruitments, HR is preparing to post the faculty positions approved last month. I appreciate the Academic Senate leadership for working with HR and getting committee appointments and ensuring we are ready to convene committees in early 2026. In addition, we have posted and appointed some of the administrator positions approved last month as well, which you will be approving later in this agenda. Lastly, I want to acknowledge the HR staff who have not only been diligently working and getting all these positions ready for recruitment, but have provided continuous support in all of the new and changing processes to better support the district. This concludes my report.
And I'll be very brief in the fact that you've all touched on a lot of the events, certainly 2 scholarship receptions, the nurses pinning ceremony, Puente end of year celebrations. There's just so much going on, and we've been able to get to a lot of those. But the one that I just want to highlight, it's been mentioned several times, Trustee Smith, it's great to have an event recognize you, but to see genuine community support filling a room, I wish you all could have been there because, well, many of us were, just all these speakers after speaker, and to have grown men that have tremendous careers are up there crying over the contributions and the meaningful impact that Trustee Smith has had on their lives, and other people testifying to how their trajectory in life through education has been impacted by his passion for service in the community. So again, it's one thing to say you were there, but I wish we had a videotape. And actually, Dr. Pasolini, I've asked her to meet with you so that we can actually highlight it, because to say you received an award understates tremendously the impact that I didn't realize you had across the community for so many years. We also learned that he does double as a AAA tow truck operator in snow conditions. That concludes my report.
Thank you, President Schultz. Well, we are now to the item 6.1, approval of our consent agenda. All right.
Chair Ashley, I move to approve the consent agenda as submitted.
I second.
We have a first and a second. Is there any discussion on this? Student trustee, please vote.
Aye.
Trustees, please vote.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, we can move down to, I'm going as fast as I can. Let's see. 10.1, open agenda now. Item 10.1, administrative appointments. There are 3 administrative appointments. If you look at the document, it is recommended that the Board of Trustees approve the administrative appointments. Do we have a motion to approve?
Make that motion.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Discussion. Hearing none. Student trustee, please vote.
Aye.
Trustees, vote please.
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Item 10.2, classified appointments. There are 2. It is recommended that the Board of Trustees approve the classified appointments. Do we have a motion?
Chair Ashley, I move to approve the classified appointments.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion on this item? Student trustee, please vote.
Aye.
Trustees, vote please.
Aye.
Aye. 10.3, academic appointment, 1 academic appointment. It is recommended that the Board of Trustees approve this academic appointment. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Student trustee, please vote.
Aye.
Trustees, vote.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. 10.4, temporary academic appointment. There's 1 temporary academic appointment. It is recommended that the Board of Trustees approve this appointment. Do we have a motion?
I'll move.
A second.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion on this? Hearing none. Student trustee, please vote.
Aye.
Trustees, please vote.
Aye.
Aye.
Thanks. Item 11, we're on now to our open agenda, Superintendent President's Office. 11.1, Board Policy Manual, Annual Revisions and Updates. Here's the background. For 2025 review cycle, there were 58 total board policies reviewed, and there were 23 updated to reflect legal requirements and or local practice. The draft policies were presented for information during our last month's meeting in November and being brought back for board action. Board policies are available on the college's Board Docs website and will be updated following approval. It is recommended that the board approve the board policy manual revisions and additions. Do we have a motion?
Make that motion.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion on these revisions? Student trustee, please vote.
Aye.
Trustees, please vote.
Aye.
Aye. Item 12. Item 12, comments of individual groups, delegations limited to non-agenda items. We do have some comments. First up is Michelle Vogeltrout. You are free to speak to us and it's item 12 regarding item, oh, I'm sorry, it's 12.1, this. Thank you.
But it's red, so turn it off.
So, yeah.
All right.
Is your mic live?
Yeah. Hello.
Okay.
Yes. Thank you. You ready? Good evening. I'm speaking to 2 points. My name is Michelle Vogeltrout. Most of you know me. If you don't, I teach in psychology and I appreciate the time. Special meetings are being posted, but currently not using your YouTube live streaming access for the regular board meetings. And both the October 14th and November 5th meetings address significant matters related to our next recruitment for the district president and superintendent. Given that there's a 24-hour notice for special meetings, it does seem that live stream through our existing platform on YouTube is feasible, excuse me. and would reflect our shared commitment to integrity, open communication, and equitable access. So I'm respectfully requesting that we offer the public a timely and transparent way to view these discussions as they're occurring in real time, as they support our collective values of empowering our community with information, welcoming voices, and fostering trust during critical decision-making. Members of the board, on a different note, I want to thank you for the continued investment that you've made in me over the past 9 years. Because of your support, I've grown in ways that I never imagined, embracing new opportunities and strengthening my leadership. And my commitment is getting deeper for the values of MSJC in terms of empowerment, integrity, equity, and caring for our community. This past year alone, I was able to earn several certificates in both the peer online course review certification program, POCR, sorry, got stuck on the acronym, as well as climate action and sustainability and curriculum. And I'm currently completing the CCC Collective Equity Institute certificate that will be done in the spring, adhering to the ABCs of leadership, affirming identities, building community, cultivating leadership, and engaging in deliberate dialogue. And in the spring, I'm really honored to represent MSJC as an ACCJC accredited team member for Cabrillo College. As I continue to rise, I carry my students with me, and so my learning fuels their learning, and so I strive to empower them beyond the horizon of their inland empire and envision the futures that they once believed were out of reach. And so with that in mind, offering a nod to Miss Bette Midler, I do find at times that I am the wind beneath their wings before they've learned how to discover their own way to fly. And so today I want to celebrate a student of mine, Jason Yabanez, a first-generation immigrant from Philippines, a U.S. Air Force senior airman veteran and combat survivor, and now a graduating MSJC Eagle. He embodies resilience, determination, and hope. Jason's first choice to go to MSJC had nothing to do with anything other than it was accessible geographically. He stayed here because he found a community that welcomed him in, that supported him and cared for him. And so this fall he graduates with plans to transfer to University of South Carolina, stepping forward into the next moment of his life. His dream is to become a psychiatrist so he can one day walk alongside others with individually challenging moments. So I'm sharing this with you to say thank you, because your investment in me is investing in them.
Thank you. Next is Anjanette Oberg to speak on a non-agenda item. Okay. Yes. Excuse me. I'm having trouble reading your last name, but it looks like Bob Pincheiros. Thank you. Okay. Yep. Speak right into the mic. It's a little dim.
Mike, are you getting it?
Mike.
No, give it a second. Let's see. Michelle turned it off on you.
There you go. Try that.
Are we ready?
Yeah.
Sounds good. Okay, thank you, administrators and members of the board, for allowing me to speak this evening. I would especially like to thank you, members of the board, who have lent your support to our automotive program up to now. I'm here to review some of the conditions that affect our future efforts. I thank you for your proven commitment to career education programs, which I think are a vital part of the future of our college. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, over 60% of the jobs that will be available to our student population in the future will not require traditional college degrees, but instead will require some type of formal training of the same kind that we already offer in our automotive program. The state and federal governments agree with this assessment, which is the reason why they've made both SWP and Perkins funds available to programs like ours. And while we've already made some valuable improvements to our facility and to our educational programs with these funds, much remains to be done. While our program enrollments and completions are as numerous as they ever have been since I have had the privilege of running our department, I cannot help but observe that while our college enjoys one of the largest service areas in the state, We also have one of the smallest automotive technology programs in the region. The reasons for this, I feel, are as follows. We have the only auto shop in the state that has no ventilation system. While our classroom and office areas are air conditioned, the evaporative coolers that provided ventilation to the shop areas when the building was first constructed were destroyed in a major windstorm that occurred some years ago, and they've never been replaced or repaired to this day. I've shared this concern with our administrators on several occasions and received verbal assurances that the problem would be resolved, but it simply has not been addressed. The automotive area is like any area that is dependent on adequate air exchange. And because our students are exposed to dust and fumes that can be hazardous to their health, this exchange is an absolute necessity. We've also had an alarming infestation of flies and mosquitoes, which are a result of having 3 large garbage dumpsters located about 25 feet away from our building. And I have tried on many occasions to get these removed. Since the SJC property campus is large, it strains credibility that that is the only place that we have to store 3 dumpsters. I've shared the concern with our dean, and she's done her best to help us to resolve these issues, but nothing has been done so far. Since I seem to have exhausted my other options, I implore the members of the Board of Trustees to help us to resolve these issues. Virtually every other institution in our region is making major investments to improve their automotive programs. College of the Desert, San Bernardino Valley College, Saddleback College have already begun or finished constructing brand new facilities to service their programs, and Riverside City College is planning to do the same. I feel compelled to remind you, members of the board, we are going to have to compete with these institutions for students. And I doubt that we are going to be able to do that with an outdated facility located at the extreme end of our service area, which is a long way to travel for most of our students.
Thank you very much, Bob. Thank you. Dr. Oberg?
Please
Floor
note
is
that
yours.
I'm Bob 2.0 for the purposes
Okay.
of this speech, so I is referencing Bob. Okay. Operational issues. Various administrative issues have contributed to the impediment of the program. The amount of time and effort required to make the necessary improvements to our course and program curriculum has been an issue for as long as I have been the program chair. This process seems only to have grown worse as time has passed. I remain committed to diversity, equity, and inclusion for the student population we're privileged to serve. I also need to observe that the automotive program directly supports what is probably the most diverse and historically underrepresented student population. Allow me to say that the current curriculum process seems to have weaponized state DEI requirements in such a way that hinders the progress of career education programs, including our own. Although I'm a long-standing member of the curriculum committee, it has taken me 2 years to bring my existing courses into compliance. This past cycle, I had at least 2 courses that made it to second read for the second time. Automotive technology is evolving rapidly, and the ability to improve our curriculum is vital to our success. I cannot do it if it takes an inordinate amount of time simply to bring existing courses into compliance. In my opinion, we spend too much time indulging the whims of just 1 or 2 individuals. The process is more akin to checking off a box rather than assuring that our students receive accessible and equitable treatment. This process has hindered the introduction of new programs, particularly in career education, and has been responsible for the deactivation of others. That the process favors our academic programs at the expense of our career education programs is an opinion widely shared. Since career education is likely to represent an increasingly important contribution to the success of our institution, this and some other processes, including the manner in which our schedules are determined, issues with our department's spring 2025 schedule was resolved only this morning, well into the registration process. Therefore, these procedures can benefit from a major overhaul. Let me close with a cautionary tale about a company with which most of are familiar. Its name is General Motors. General Motors maintains a top-down management style. Its policy is to keep the assembly line moving at all times. If there's a problem with the assembly process, their policy is to deliver the vehicle to the customer and hope to resolve the issue after the car is sold. Toyota, on the other hand, maintains what is known as an andon cord at their assembly plants, which is a rope or button any worker can pull. Effectively, we need to be Toyota.
Thank you for your remarks, Bob 2.0.
Thank
And
you.
I know that we are trained not to make comments on this, but I'll remind everyone that we are sitting on Motor Car Parkway right now. So for what it's worth, and I know several of us grew up gearheads. I'm one of them. So I'd like to know more about what's going on in our automotive. And so I'd really appreciate hearing more about what's going on from our admin sometime soon.
You can schedule that as a report in the future, yes.
Thanks. Okay. We are now on our 13.1 information agenda, I believe. Yes. And that is MSJC Foundation updates. And knowing she was up next, Rebecca Orlowski has already taken the stage as she's the director of our foundation and will provide an update on activities and future events. Rebecca.
Good evening. So I'm excited to share with you tonight some growth data that we've been evaluating within the foundation. But as I was looking at these numbers, and as impressive as they are.
You have the same issue as Bob.
Is this better?
Nope.
Is that better?
Bob 1.0, I should say.
Is that clear?
No.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes.
So I'm excited to be here this evening to share with you some updates, really a reflection of the way the foundation has been able to grow over the last several years. But in doing this evaluation, I realized that some historical information would really draw some great parallels of really where the foundation started and where we are now. So this evening, we are going to actually start in 2008 when the legacy of Dr. Schultz began.
Is that Milo P. Johnson?
No. This is Dr. Schultz. This is his picture from when he was when he was announced president of this college.
I remember that.
I wanted to let you know at this time, our beginning fund balance for the foundation was just over $4 million. We had endowments a little over $3 million, and we gave out annually $381,000 in scholarships. This information is relevant for a number of reasons. The foundation for a number of years really remained within this band of our fund balance. In 2015, I had the honor and the privilege of being given the opportunity to come and work for Dr. Schultz from financial aid to the foundation, which I also would say is his legacy of giving people an opportunity to do new things and try new things. At that time, we were roughly at the same position. The foundation had an amazingly passionate group of community members and endowments that had come in the 1990s. Vicki Carpenter was one of those amazing members. And so the foundation was really working to determine how did they step up to meet the needs of a district that was growing very rapidly. So between 2017 and 2020, the foundation really worked hard to determine how do they go from a commitment that was very much scholarship based, which was still needed, but really grow to an advancement board that could meet the growing needs of the district. And again, Vicki was part of this. She became a trustee in 2018. So Vicki, thank you. This was quite an undertaking by the board to do.
And past president.
Yes, and past president.
Foundation.
Actually, you were past president during the change. Vicki was one of the ones that implemented our change. In 2020, that implementation really started. The foundation brought to the Board of Trustees a new master agreement. We worked on revising our bylaws. We created new roles within the foundation that allowed for ambassadors, and we brought on new board members. And part of that was about honoring the legacy of the board members we had, who were very passionate about scholarships and still wanted to do that, but bringing in new board members that understood and could work in an advancement world, that were comfortable asking for donations and comfortable sort of making those changes. I will also say I became the director that year. In 2022 and For 2022, 2025, working out of that change, the board really strove to make some really strategic goals. I will point out that during this goal setting period is when they made the goal to name the stadium by the end of 2023, which was something that college had not done previously, and they did meet that goal. So all of the work that the foundation did and was really supported by the Board of Trustees really allowed us to get to where the foundation is. And that leads me right now to sort of the foundation budget. So in 2020, 2021, we were right around $4.7 million. So we were still sort of riding back and forth between that sort of $3 to $4 million range. And you can see from 2020 to 2025, 26, we have doubled what is the current budget for the foundation. Our beginning balance this year was $9.4 million, which was a big change for us to do. Roger and I were actually having a conversation, and he had been talking to another president, and he was telling me how proud they were because they were around $10 million. It's a larger district. And both of us in our minds were like, I think we're around 6. And then I looked at it, I texted him afterwards. I said, actually, Roger, we were at 9.4 this year. And I think it just shows you how sometimes we put our heads down and we just work, and we don't always stop to sort of reflect on what this means. While these numbers are impressive, I have to tell you, it's the way that these numbers affect our student lives that are really the big difference. Because of this, we've been able to make changes and implement support. Before the district had its basic needs funding, the foundation was able to initially step in and make sure we were meeting emergency needs. There are amazing testaments of times where we have met students at their darkest moments and made sure that they were not, they didn't walk away. And that really is the testament to everyone who gives, all of your donations, all of the different things that you do. We've been able to provide resources so that students graduating the nursing program went and took their NCLATs. They didn't not become a nurse because of what we were doing. And all of that is really because of this growth of the foundation. How that looks, and I think it's important to point this out, is a lot of different numbers. And I'm not Brandon, so I cannot make data super interesting, but I wanted to just call out a little bit of what makes up our budget. So our total local revenues, which are just the funds that come in each year, are reflected in red for each year. And then our investments, really our interest or the dividends that we receive on those funds, are in light gray. And then our monetary donations are in dark gray. What's interesting about this is that you can see from COVID in 21, 22, when the market crashed, it was the first year that we actually took a loss in the endowments. It was over $600,000. But if you saw the previous graph, we still grew. So while the foundation struggled through that, we still overall grew, and we've come back stronger than we have been previously. We as a foundation have never broken in our endowments the $5 million mark. I can let you know, as of October 31st, and I'm waiting for the end of year one, we are riding right now at $9.7 million. And so we hope that this year will be the year that we will reach $10 million. So in our endowments, or I'm sorry, the last one was our overall fund balance. So in our endowments, this is really where we're looking at. I've combined my slides, I apologize. So this is really the endowment growth. So again, you can see there's this dip in 2022. These numbers look slightly different because as a district, we do a fiscal year, and the Inland Empire Community Foundation, who does our numbers, does a calendar year. So they're reflected slightly different. But again, you can see where the endowments had dipped down, came back up, and now we're close to being over $5 million. Scholarships are the same thing. Again, what's amazing is in all of these changes that the foundation has made, we started at that $300,000 mark. We have historically always given at those numbers. You will find an anomaly in 2022, 2023 coming out of COVID. Not only did we not have students applying for scholarships as much, but actually outside agencies stopped giving scholarships. Part of that was just because of all the government funding that occurred at that time. However, coming back out into 23 and 24 really being our largest, we've seen unseen numbers before. For 24, 25, we were almost at $1 million for scholarships in a single year, which is really the largest that we've seen. On a personal level with students, some of the changes that we've made in regards to scholarship are this year we were able to assist the CalWorks program. We had a number of students that we knew the 1 day to pay was affecting their ability to stay in their courses. And so the foundation came in and for all students within that program covered the $46 so that they weren't being dropped from their classes. And that brings me to a bold initiative. As we know, Dr. Schultz will be leaving us after his 25 years, and we've had a lot of conversations about how do we honor that, and we've had members of the community ask how we honor that. And so we are going to, I've moved on. I'm doing this bad tonight. Sorry, guys. So really in talking about sort of the legacy that we've had in Dr. Schultz's time here as president, the foundation has given out $7.9 million in direct student funding to students. Based on that, we want to continue the legacy that Roger Schultz has had with us, Dr. Schultz. And so we are announcing a fund in his honor as he retires. Really, the purpose of this is to celebrate his 25 years here as a college president, to continue the student-focused initiatives he's championed at his time with us, and also support long-term regional access to higher education. We want to honor his legacy through this campaign by continuing the vision that he has had for this institution. Our initial campaign goal is to bring in $100,000 by June 30th. That funding will be split up into two areas. 25% will go for immediate student assistance, so dollars that can be utilized right away. The additional 75% of the funding will be placed in an endowment for the University Center, which is a passion project that Dr. Schultz has worked on and that we're looking to move forward. And so the funding will be divided in that way. The last time I stood before you, I had told you all about the donor walls that we were doing. Shortly after that, Dr. Schultz announced he was retiring. And we realized that we needed to take a pause to understand really what initiative are we putting out there and what are we asking the community to support. In an endeavor to tie this into one initiative ask, our donor walls are being wrapped into this campaign. So any donor that gives $500 or more will be honored on a wall at one of the campuses as part of this campaign and the lasting legacy. In advance, I'm going to let you know that we'll be holding two events in the spring, that the funds will go to support this endeavor and to honor Dr. Schultz's time. On March 27th, we will hold a speakeasy event on this campus. And then on June 13th, we will be doing a total 80 celebration of Dr. Schultz's time with us. I'm excited to announce this evening that the opening gift for this fund has been made by Dr. Schultz. 10% of the $100,000 that we're looking to raise before he leaves is being given as a gift from Dr. Schultz in honor of his parents, and they will be honored on that wall as well. Really, his leadership, I don't normally read this slide, but well, his leadership gift does demonstrate his continued commitment to MSJC students, and it really does inspire our community. He's not just speaking the words, he's writing the check.
That's a good donation.
I invite all of you to join us as we honor his legacy in empowering students, strengthening community, and continuing the legacy that he's left at this institution.
Thank you. And I'll remind everyone that if you give your donation before January 1st, you can claim it on your taxes for this year.
And I will add, sorry, really quickly, we've been working to get this campaign together, and I do not have a document to give to you this evening. Andy and I have spoken, and we will work to have the website up next week so that for end of year giving, you can share that out. You can make a donation. You can share it on social media. And then we will have all of the marketing pieces out starting in January. We will also be offering payroll deduction options to staff so that they can give to the campaign. And I was able to work with Stacy in Business Services today that we're going to allow that over an 18-month period to really allow everyone that wants to be able to give. It's a small amount that they can give, but still be impactful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for all your hard work over all these years.
All right, we're on the final item for the evening, 13.2, participatory governance document revision. Participatory governance is the mechanism for employees and students to participate in the decision-making process in support of the mission of the college. The institution recognizes and uses the contributions of leadership throughout the organization from promoting student success, sustaining academic quality, integrity, fiscal stability, and continuous improvement of the institution. The proposed revisions have been through the participatory governance process and have been approved by the College Council. At this time, the revised participatory governance document is being sunshined for review and will be presented for action at the next regular meeting of the Board of Trustees. And as I once in a while remind folks, sometimes a lot of things on our agenda are perfunctory and routine, minor budget revisions and whatnot. But this is not one of those things. Make sure you read this very carefully before next month. With that, I would like to move on to 14.1, adjournment. The next meeting of the Board of Trustees is scheduled for Thursday, January 15th, but it says 4, but it's 3 o'clock. So remember, we have made a revision there. It's 3 o'clock right here at this campus. And board, there's a special training at 1:30, our EOC training. That's very important as well. With that, I'll entertain a motion to, before I adjourn, I'll remind all the board members and Claudia, student trustee, the poinsettias are all for you. Please take them with you, and if you need help carrying them, let me know. I'll help. You got it. You got it, Calvin. I'll accept a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, student trustee, please vote.
Aye.
Trustees vote.
Aye.
Aye.
$6:41.